Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Tarot with Kuka. Today is Sunday, June 7th, 2020, which brings us to a whole new weekly guidance brought to you by the Santa Muerte Book of the Dead Tarot deck. Artwork and concept was created by Fabio Lastrani. The deck and many others can be found at losscarabeo.com. The link will be posted in the description below me. Remember, if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. Before we begin, this is just a reminder of how this spread flows. This guidance may be something you encounter this week, within hours, or within days, or in the far future. Time is actually fluid in all directions. So, the first card is the middle card. It is your situation, your guidance, or your lesson to learn. The two other cards are guides to help you to align with the first card. With that, I pull a Sun card, which is the card on the left. The Sun is about action items during the day. It's kind of outward, extroverted guidance. The Moon card is on the right. It is about action items during your night or your sleeping time. The feminine energy, the inward, connecting the shadow with the aligning of our higher selves. It's about self-reflection and introspection. Remember, I set my intentions with God, the divine, the source, the universe. And like I say, and I'll keep reminding that just for my, so I'm not repeating, I tend to use God as my source. So the messages are protected by the white light so that they are of love. I do not give negative or fear-based reads as they are not of God. God is not fear. God is love. So with that, let's begin our read. So for a situation, lo and behold, look what I drew. If you were with me last week, you would see that I drew the Hierophant again. And usually when I pick up a repeat, in my personal reads, it generally means that I haven't learned my lesson. But again, I'm going to try to keep this in the positive aspect. So what I'm picking up is that the divine is actually seeking more of a deeper connection with each of us. And again, I'll read the advice of the dead. Once you have analyzed the situation with foresight, your means and what you are able to communicate, proceed towards your objectives and ideals. So again, this is literally still about us moving forward. So I try to keep the Hierophant card as open as possible so there isn't just a single meaning, and so it can resonate with you in in as many possibilities. So I realize we are all on our own individual journey, and we seek to connect with God or the higher power in our own way. So with the Hierophant, you can actually be guided to go with traditional organized religion in order to connect with God. You also may be guided to seek answers outside the confines of the traditional religion and connect with God on a more customized personal relationship. You also may be guided to be a spiritual teacher in either the traditional or spiritual sense. However this resonates is actually between you and how God connect. Since I'm still learning Tarot, I will give you some tidbits of knowledge. So the Hierophant card is actually Tarot number 5, and it is a major arcana, which can also be indicative of big changes, even almost like life-changing. So with the number 5, the number 5 tends to mean changes. So yeah, it kind of gives me goosebumps on how it all connects. So the astrology of this card by the Angel Tarot by Radley, Big Book of Angel Tarot by Radley Valentine, he says this card belongs with Taurus, and traditional Tarot says it belongs to Virgo, and also the planet Mercury. So what I get from this is, and I think this came from Radley's book, was a determination of faith, being of service, to the planet, God, or mankind, or animal. So again, that was just like loosely translated. So what I get from Taurus and Virgo is the determination from Taurus, and Virgo is about the service. So whatever you feel resonated, and how you want to serve, yes, do it. This card will definitely help you with that. So the symbols in the card, there are many of them actually. So one of the first things I actually noticed outside of the Ouija board, if I can bring this up a little closer. So if you can see on the corner of the Ouija board, there is the sacred geometry blocks, which tells me right off the bat that our Hierophant is very wise. And then if you can see, he is pointing upward and downward. This is a reminder that he seeks to connect us with our superconscious and our conscious and our subconscious. He really wants to align all aspects of us with our higher selves and with God. He is also, if you see here, holding or using his 6 fingers to point. So we're looking at a total of 6, in which which tells me don't worry over material things. And again, this means that the universe does provide exactly what we need. And also, with the Ouija board reminds us that our ancestors are also available to help, as they can provide lessons and truths of the past. We can learn from what our ancestors went through. Again, it's like, part of evolution is, yes, we have to grow, but I do like keeping history alive, because I firmly believe that if we forget our history, we are doomed to repeat it. So in order to help our ancestors and our future heal, let's learn from the past and let's make things better today. And so once we start making things better, collectively, that's when the healing begins for mankind. And then if you kind of see how the window is open, let me see if I can bring a better image. So his window is open, in which it's allowing him to connect with nature, allowing the energy to flow out in all directions, to connect with earth, to connect with all. And again, it transitions to me, all is well, all is one. So with that, I'm going to move on to the next card, which is our Sun card. We have the 7 of Cups. So the Suit of Cups is about emotions. It tends to be water-based, so fluidity. And the advice of the dead is persevere in your projects and in your desires, having first thought them through and keeping your feet on ground. So I'm going to get a better angle of this. So with the 7 of Cups here, we have some decisions to make, especially if you're on this journey of seeking God. We have to make sure that we're putting into careful deliberation of our decisions. It's not to be taken lightly. Ultimately, the goal is aligning ourselves with the universe. So, like in this card, there are 7 cups to choose from. So, how do we choose what is right for us? How do we know if we have chosen the will of God? How do we know if we're on the right path? Well, with this card, what I see here is the masculine energy. He is logical, he is practical. But see, the cupboard displays a prominent red heart. This is also guiding our friend, who represents ourselves, to listen to our heart, our feminine energy. The cupboard is also illuminated with rays. There they are, in which the universe is saying, you're at the right spot at the right time to choose. So if we combine our logical, our practical decision making, along with listening to our heart, organizing our thoughts, and looking to the guidance of the universe, we can't go wrong. With the 7 of Cups, the decision we make is aligning ourselves with our higher self. So I also want you to notice that our friend here, or even ourselves, in this card, it looks like a decision was already made. And as you can see, he is holding the only cup that has life growing from it. He has made his choice after careful deliberation. And from that cup sprouting life, there are white flowers, and it just reminded me of the divine and of the purity and of the innocence. Remember last week we had the Eight of Cups, which was about our indecisions, our insecurities, but yet, if we sought the light, which was also illuminated in the card, we can't go wrong. So with the Seven of Cups, the tarot number is 43, which breaks back down to 7. 7 is indicative that the Ascended Masters are here to help us. We're on the right path. And we're on, so if we have the assessment with the help of the divine, we can't go wrong. The astrology of this card is Scorpio. And the planets, actually there's 2 thoughts of, so the traditional tarot says it's Pluto, and Radley's book, the Big Book of Angel Tarot, says Venus. And so with the assistance of the divine, we were able to connect our path with the right choice, and we will align all of us. So with the next card, our moon guidance, we have a major arcana card. What we have here is the Devil in reverse. Again, people, I want you to remember this message is from light. There are no fear-based messages here, and this is exactly what the reverse of the reverse devil is about. So let me read to you the advice of the dead. Free yourself from what you think you are tied to, and to become who you really are, following your instinct, your inner fire, without giving into flattery, and properly evaluating the dangers that surround you. Even the Devil card is telling you the stuff that is holding you back is in your mind. Resist the negative. Release the ego-based guidance. Your ego is what tells you that you may not be right or you can't. And usually when I do have those fear-based thoughts, I immediately send it to God so that it comes back out to the universe as love. I'm learning to ask my light team for help, and I'm actually asking them to guide me with my thoughts and my words in a positive manner, especially when I start formulating fear-based. So this card to me is actually about bringing light into the darkness. It's about dealing with our human ego in a loving manner. It may begin with sending healing energy to our inner child. Matt Kahn actually has an awesome discussion about this, and if I can't find his video, I'll definitely keep the link of his channel in my descriptions. So this card is Tarot number 15. It is about going through changes and staying positive. 15 breaks down to 6, which is about fortuitous abundance. Having a calm state of mind, peaceful. So again, it seems like this is like not what it's supposed to mean. The Devil card, and remain calm. Bring peace to your ego. And you can see how the universe, will definitely work with you. So the astrology here is Capricorn with the planet Saturn. So with this card in reverse, I can actually, I no longer see the devil. And the strings with the card upright, you can see how the devil here was holding the strings for the musicians as if they were his puppet, In the reverse position, what it seems to me is that the devil no longer has control over those strings. And in fact, it's the musicians who have gained control. And so this card shows that there is light up above with the candles. and there's still fire below, which is kind of telling me that there, it's trying to ignite our passions. So the flow is not that the darkness grows stronger, it is that we allow the light to fade. Light always wins and it overtakes the darkness. So no fear when we confront our shadow, especially when we are trying to bring our shadow into the light. From this card, it looks like the ego has disappeared. So to connect the Hierophant, who is here to give us to our higher selves, we have divine guided choices to make. To aid in that choice, we release our self-limiting beliefs and ego. So we still actually have time to forgive ourselves and others with the guidance of the recent full moon. We also, with the help of the full moon, will help us release the ego. And with the energy of the lunar eclipse, we say goodbye to the negative energy, because that is the end of the cycle. And we begin a whole new positive journey. And so with that, people, I send you love, light, and many, many blessings. Take care.